Good evening. Welcome back to the Baton Rouge Regional, the Women's NCAA Tournament. Pleased to be joined by George Mason now, head coach Vanessa Blair-Lewis. We are also joined by Paula Suarez, who tonight had 25 points and 3 rebounds in the ball game, and Nalani Kasia, who had 7 points, 7 rebounds. And Nalani, I'll let you introduce the guest you have with you.
This is the myth, the legend, Zayla, my daughter.
Hey, Zayla. So once again, our policies here. What we will do, we will start with an opening comment from Coach. Then we will address our questions to the players first and players only, please, and then we will dismiss them. We'll return to ask questions to Coach. If you're joining us via Zoom, we welcome you to Baton Rouge. If you have a question, please hit the raise hand button on your Zoom, and we will come to you. With that, Coach, the floor is yours.
I'm so proud of these ladies for the incredible season that they've had, and not just this season. You know, they say if you want a bigger house, you have to have a bigger deposit. And each year we did that. We put a bigger deposit down to the season that we wanted. And this year, no matter the outcome of this game, does not define who they are as a whole. They are champions. They have put a legacy in place at Mason. They've won an A-10 championship, and they've had the first ever NCAA berth at the university. That can never be taken away. I thank them in the locker room for the deposit that they've made in this program. And I'm super proud of not just the basketball players they've become, but the human beings and the leaders they're going to go out into the world to become.
Coach, thank you very much. Very well said. We will address questions now to we're coming to you. We're coming. We'll address questions to the players first. Please raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone to you. If you'll introduce yourself, your affiliation, and address the player you're asking your question. We'll start right here in the front.
Daniel Frank from A10 Talk. For either you, Paula or Nalani, you guys have helped set a new standard for this program. What has that meant to you personally?
It means a lot knowing, that the people are going to stay here next year. Freshmen coming in. They're coming into a culture where it's, really competitive, and, they're going to – every single year they're going to be up there competing for a championship and win it and come into NCAA. So it just means a lot that we can, put our little – what's it called? A little –
Stamp?
Yeah, stamp and, help the new people that are going to come in.
Yeah, echoing what P said, just knowing that people coming in the future know that Mason is a winning program. There's a culture that comes along with that. And just leaving our mark and knowing that this is just the stepping stone. What we did was history, but it's only up from here. And what Zayla said.
Natalie Hevren from The Next. Paula, you're the first Mason player to spend all 4 years of her career at Mason with Coach Blair-Lewis. What have these last 4 years meant to you? And when you look back on your career, what does that mean to you?
I'm just really happy, really proud of the program, the team, myself, how much I've grown on the court and off the court thanks to the coaches. So I'm just really happy looking back and seeing where the program is.
Could you put into words what this experience has been like, just being at the NCAA tournament for, you for Nalani, having Zayla with you, and just this whole ride throughout the last couple weeks here?
Just really exciting because we didn't know what it was like. You always see it from the outside, see the games and everything, but it's not the same like watching the games and when you're here, you're watching the games okay, we're going to play there, we're going to be there. So it's just really exciting.
Yeah, being a part of it all, just the excitement. TikTok and social media is a big thing, so seeing all the hauls, this is what you get from March Madness, this is what you get to do, XYZ, being a part of that, it's wow, we really made it.
And then, we saw you all come back and kind of loop around and show the fans in Green Machine your love, something you do at pretty much every home game, if not every home game. What has their love and support meant to you throughout the postseason run and then, looking back over your career as well?
It means a lot. They're there obviously every single home game, cheering on us, but also when we go on the road, this is a flight, it's really far, and they still come here. They're still excited. They're still cheering for us, so they mean a lot.
Yeah, the support, the overwhelming support from the Mason community, from the Fairfax community, means a lot. There'll be times where you walk around campus and they'll be like, we're so excited to see you play. Or we just love watching you all play, and it really brightens your day. Even days that practice might be long and things of that nature, seeing them will brighten your day because they'll just be so excited to see you.
Brett?
Hi there, Bob Martell with the Associated Press. For Paula, what was kind of your goal against Florida State? And obviously you had a really strong game. At what point, I mean, through 3 quarters, you probably believed you were still in this game, and then do you have a sense of what happened where the score got away from you?
I mean, coming in, we just wanted to win, compete. Like, we are here for a reason. We know we can beat them. And then I think they just, I don't know if it was like maybe the physicality or the athleticism, and they just started making a lot of shots, and we weren't playing our best offense. So I don't think we like hang our heads down. Like, we competed, but we just kind of like relaxed in the 4th quarter.
If you still have a question, last question for the players here, if you still have it, then we're going to dismiss them.
Yeah, Paula, you know, career high for you in the last game of your Mason career. What does that mean to you? And then for Nalani, you know, watching Paula get a career high and finish her career individually on a high note.
Just wanted to win, just wanted to compete. So I was just trying to be aggressive, take the shots that I could to help the team. So yeah.
No one's more deserving than P. She works so hard. She is an amazing teammate, and she puts everyone before herself. So seeing her put herself first, and it's showing, and her putting on the national stage once again that she is a Spanish cookbook really brightens my day. So I'm extremely happy for her.
Paul and Alana, congratulations on your season. Thank you all for coming in here and spending time with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And your little one, too.
Thank you.
Guys, does anyone want to go to the George Mason open locker room? If not, we're going to go ahead and close it. Anybody? All right, sounds good.
Yes. Yeah. All right, we'll now address questions for Coach, please. Once again, if it's somebody new asking, please introduce yourself for Coach and your affiliation. And we thank the players for joining us. And Coach, once again, we'll have questions for you.
Coach, could you put into words just what this means for the program, being on this stage and, you know, just all the attention that comes with making the NCAAs, all the interviews and appearances you guys have done? What does that do for this program moving forward?
You know, I think it definitely shouts loudly that this is a school that is a basketball program, you know, and I always say administrations decide whether you're going to be champions long before they hire a coach, and our administration has done that. They have poured into this program. You know, the A-10 is a basketball-centric conference, and so I just think that this is an amazing place to be, and obviously the steps we've taken as a program to get to this level in such a short period of time of literally coming from the bottom to the top, you know, has been, you know, it's been an arduous trip, but, you know, it's been so worth it. And I think the thing that stands out the most is, like I said, not just the wins and losses. These women that we had the ability and being blessed to coach far extends beyond the wins and losses. They are our next generation of leaders, and I'm really proud of the job we've done as a coaching staff to pour into them more than the X's and O's.
Natalie Heverin with the Next. You know, it's similar to what I asked the players, but Paula was the first player that you recruited to Mason that has stayed all 4 years. And can you just talk about the journey that you've been on with her from starting from the bottom and that 14th place finish to now watching her end her Mason career with a career high in the NCAA tournament?
Well, I wish I could take credit that I recruited her. She showed up on an airplane with a bag, and she said, "I'm here." I didn't even know if the child spoke English, but she was dedicated. You know, she came with a hard work ethic. We just said in the locker room, like, she's the person you want to emulate. There was never one time she was late to study hall. She was late to a practice. She complained. She was the most low-maintenance player we've ever coached. So much so sometimes you didn't even know if she was there. She was quiet, but she was watching. You know, she was not just a player to watch on the court, but she became an amazing student. She's a 4.0 student. Getting literally off of a plane. And for 4 years, she kept getting on that plane and getting off that plane and coming back, you know, and it was tough. Like, we had 0 wins, you know, to start her career. And she'd been through the ups and downs of anyone on this team. And then this year, she blossomed into a beautiful flower. She grew, she found her voice, and she believed she could shoot the ball.
Coach, you've talked about over the years, how this program's been built and how when you started there was not a whole lot of fan and community's buy-in with this program. What was it like walking out tonight into this arena, seeing not just Green Machine and the cheer team, but obviously just the fan support that was here tonight for you guys coming all this way to Louisiana?
I think Fairfax has been waiting to have a champion, and they've had it on the guys' side, and they've had it in other sports, and obviously the Final Four run was amazing. But the women's basketball team, we wanted to be their champion to cheer for. And each year we made it important and vital to get out in the community and have them come in and see us play. But I think women's basketball laid a lot of that groundwork, just how the growth of the women's game, a lot of people became curious in town. What is this women's basketball all about? And we gave them something to cheer for. And we're proud of what we built, and I'm so thankful that they did not find it robbery to come watch us play this weekend.
You have a question for Coach?
Yes. This is Blake Spadauer from Blake's Take and W Swish. What did you think of your team's overall performance this season, and what do you hope to improve on going into next season with your players coming in?
Yeah, I was really proud of this team from going from rejection the year before. We had a tough time in our A10 tournament last year with a really, really talented bunch of young women, and we didn't get to finish that season the way that we wanted to. So to come back this year, there was a fire in their belly. There was a lot of things that I didn't have to say for them to be ready and prepared. And the losses we took this year were losses we needed to take the next step. And I think those losses prepared us to go into the A10 tournament this year and really become a team playing at its best and peaking at the right time. So I'm really excited about this journey, especially with this team this year. Literally, like I said, from rejection to redemption.
Good, Brett.
Hi, Coach. Brett Martell with AP. Tanaya Latson, and I know they had to have several players play really well to pull away from you guys, but just with her being the leading scorer in the nation, what were your impressions of her influence on the game tonight? What kind of, how did you find her temperament on the court, and how did that kind of translate to her results?
She's exactly who they said she was. She's the leading scorer in the nation. She was, there were times, during the game that you just enjoy watching really good basketball. She's a great player, and she's a great player for our game. And she's going to be a joy to watch for some years to come.
One final question for Coach here in the front. And before we ask if there's anybody that would like to go to the GMU locker room while it's open still, please go ahead and do it now. And if not, we will shut it down when we get done with this. One final question for Coach, please, right here.
Can't end a season press conference without asking this. How has this season embodied believing big?
Oh, man. I told them today in the locker room, I said, I was thinking about a story to tell them to get ready for this game. And I thought about David and Goliath, and I said, nah, that's really not the story. And I thought about Joshua, and I was like, maybe that's not when it. And then I thought about George Foreman, a great that we just lost, and how, he championed the I'm possible instead of impossible. And then I said, you know what? The story that I want to tell is the story that you wrote, your story. A story that will be for years to come told about these great women who believed in something when there was no evidence of it, that believed big enough to believe that they could be future champions. That's the story. And you guys are the authors. And so you get to decide how long these chapters go and when the chapter ends. And tonight, I'd like for you to keep writing, because I've enjoyed reading every single page of your journey.
Coach, it was our pleasure to have you in Baton Rouge. Congratulations on your season and continued success building your program.
Thank you so
Could
much.
listen to you all day. Very
Thank
much
you.
appreciate your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
We
David.
will
Thank
close
you,
up the George Mason locker room now. We will be back in Baton Rouge in approximately 2 hours, post-game of LSU and San Diego State. Until then, have a good evening from Baton Rouge.